I'm like, how old are you? I want to know, like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 15.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, you're a baby. You're 15? He's like, I'm 15. I'm like, I'm 30. And his face goes like ghost white. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm 30. He's like, there's no way. I literally fumble for my little ID, like looks at it. He like inspects it. He's like, oh my God, you're 30. I'm like, I'm 30.
Oh my God.
I was like mortified.
ROTN, let me present to you the ROTN Podcast. The ROTN Podcast.
How do you want me to say it? Rotten. All right, guys. Good morning. Welcome back to the ROTN Podcast. We're on episode 43, baby.
Let's go.
How does it feel that it's officially football season again?
Oh, well, for me, it's like a roller coaster because this has probably been one of the most disappointing seasons for a Bears fan.
Why?
I was so excited all year for Justin Fields and the offense, and you know the past few years have been.
I think I'm finally kind of into it because you know why?
I know you want to get to that. Yes.
Why?
Because of Taylor Swift all of a sudden.
Isn't it crazy that Taylor Swift put like Kelsey Travis on the map?
No, it's Travis Kelce.
Travis? Oh, see, I don't even know it. Exactly.
Well, she put him on the map in a global sense, but he's been pretty
like no
well
one knew
known.
about him.
People knew.
I didn't know about him.
I mean, he's a star.
He got 300,000 new followers yesterday.
Jeez.
Just from her being.
You know what I saw?
What?
His jersey and merch sales went up 400%.
Exactly. You can't tell me that he was that big.
I mean, Taylor Swift is like the biggest superstar in the world. So yeah, that's crazy. It's a different level.
I know.
But he's not some nobody, I guess. Like he's really well respected and known. He's an incredible player. He's not just an average player. Mm-hmm. He's on like the best team. He's one of the best tight ends of all time.
I don't know what a tight end is, but does that mean he has a juicy butt?
Yes, probably. Yeah. No, he's cool. He's got like really good swag and yeah, he's always been like a really cool player. So good choice for her for sure.
Yeah. He's kind of cute too. Like I saw them like walking together. They look really cute together.
Yeah, he's a good looking dude.
I hope this works out for him because I've never seen someone so many people are so invested in their relationship.
I mean, it's crazy. Like I follow football so much and I pay attention leading up to everything. And there were so many questions leading up. Mm-hmm. What?
Nothing. I was trying to get you to like get mad that I said that, but you weren't falling for the prank. I was trying to prank you.
What was the prank?
It's been like on TikTok, people are pranking their like football boyfriends by being like, isn't it crazy that Taylor Swift put like Travis Kelce on the map? Like who knows about Travis Kelce?
I mean, it's crazy. Like even the players and coaches are being interviewed before the game even started.
About Taylor.
Yeah, in NFL, I was just watching the Monday night game and there's a player, DeAndre Swift, who had a crazy touchdown and the NFL posted, Swifties are going to love this one. That's crazy. Like, I think it's been so much influence and talk about Taylor Swift. I'm like
now
surprised.
All the girlies are going to be watching the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. But I can't believe how much, like for me, it seems like a huge distraction for him because he's getting asked about it. They're showing so much. They're posting so much clips all over the internet.
For Taylor Swift, it must feel really hard to date people because people turn it into a circus.
I can't believe how much of a circus it's been, literally, and it's only been like
one game.
Yeah. I mean, it was cute though. You know, they showed footage and I showed you. I was like, look, you know, they showed her and talking with his mom and she was like really celebrating and going hard when he scored a touchdown and was like really supportive of the team overall. Yeah.
The more I see Taylor Swift, the more I like love her because I saw footage of her literally cleaning up after herself, which is like such a normal thing to do, right? She was like drinking beers and then like took a lot of beers and like put them away. But I feel like some humans just don't do that. And I respect humans that do.
Yeah. And I think when we think about celebrities and people like a superstar like that, you know, you don't like imagine them wiping their own shit or cleaning or like doing their own laundry or folding their clothes or whatever. Maybe they don't. I'm sure they don't do that. But it's just funny to see them do like normal ordained things. And you're like, oh, yeah, you're human.
Mm-hmm. It's probably so fun for her to be like, okay, I can sell out stadiums and so can my boyfriend.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, I mean, it's really different. Like she's one human. They're a whole organization team with history and he's just one player on a whole thing. But it is cool that like, you know, she gets to bring him. And it's like, I hate to say it, it hurts my heart, but he brought her to a good game. It's like bringing, your girlfriend, if you're on the varsity, to like watch a scrimmage against like the sophomore JV team.
That's how bad the Bears are?
Yeah.
Compared to the Chiefs?
Yeah. Well, the Chiefs are the best team, period.
P.S. I'm just proud of myself that I knew the names of the players.
Yeah.
I would like to say.
Well, the Bears are just the worst team right now. And the Chiefs are the best team. They won the Super Bowl last year. Patrick Mahomes will probably go down as one of the best quarterbacks ever.
So you don't think Travis Kelce will be inviting Taylor Swift to a game where he thinks he might not win?
No, he definitely will. But I'm just saying it's funny. Like, I've seen memes already made that said that.
Yeah.
Like, he just literally brought her to like a scrimmage, like the perfect game where they're just like completely dominating.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe you remember Travis Kelce from last year in the Super Bowl because I think it was one of the first times ever where brothers were playing each other. Remember?
Oh, that's them?
Yeah.
Ah, that was so cute. I felt so bad for his brother.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's
but
tough.
The parents were wearing like a split jersey,
That's
I think.
so cute.
Like, imagine being a parent of...
Those are some good genes.
I know. But they play different positions, which is crazy.
Yeah.
He's a lineman, so he's like way bigger, like over 300 pounds.
His brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Travis,
What's his name?
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah, he's a lineman on the Eagles, who are also one of the best teams.
Is he like the less famous one?
I mean, yeah, he's definitely less famous because his position, you don't really get too much fame when you're an offensive lineman.
Damn.
But you get paid really well.
Because you have to protect the
Yeah, it's the most important job for sure.
Well, yeah, you can't make plays or points if you're not protecting the one
That's
man
the problem
who gets
with
hit.
The Bears, yeah.
They have bad offense.
Terrible. Both sides of the ball, the lines are just really bad.
At least really you have to be good at one side.
The Bears always had a really good defense.
I remember that. You kept talking about it.
But now their defense is terrible.
See, isn't this crazy? This is like the longest I've ever had a conversation with you about football, and because of Taylor Swift. You're rolling your eyes hard.
You could have had this whole ass conversation and we could have removed Taylor Swift. Just you would have never really wanted to.
Exactly. Taylor Swift effect.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about football, but I will.
That's funny.
If it's to like bother you.
You are very funny.
Anyway, speaking of Taylor Swift, I saw Taylor Swift in Seattle. You guys all know that. But I just got back from Seattle again, even though I'd just been there a month ago because I wanted to see my friend Mickey. I wanted to help her reorganize her entire house. And I'm starting like a new series on my channel where I like reorganize other creators and other friends' homes. Besides the point, I have been waiting to tell you this story since I got back from Seattle. I purposely don't want to tell you stories so that I get your full ass reaction
I remember when we were FaceTiming, you're like, take a screenshot of the way that I look because I have a story for you.
Yes. Okay, now take a look at that screenshot that you took of me and we'll put it up for you guys on the channel or on the pod. And you guys can see what I looked like on this day. Okay, that's a terrible photo, but you see the vibes, right? How old do you think I look in that photo?
27, 28. It's like, I feel like that's a compliment to look 27.
Anyways, Mickey and I are at this event called Lady M. Like they open up a new store. We leave that event. We're inside of this like nice mall in Seattle and we go into Roy's Chocolate. It's like a chocolate store. And both of us are just like, doing our own thing, looking around, finding chocolates to buy because they're really yummy. And Mickey wanted me to try them. When a guy walks in who's like a high schooler, he walks in, he's like looking at chocolates and we think nothing of it, except he taps me on the shoulder. And I look at him, I'm like, okay, like why is this like kid tapping me on the shoulder? And he just starts like stuttering. And I'm like, is he a subscriber? I'm so confused. The first thing he says to me is like, hi, like I just saw you walking in the mall and I wanted to say hi. I'm like, okay, hi, do you need any help? I'm like, does he think I work here? Like what's going on? And he's like, no, can I have your number? And I kid you not, I start laughing at his. I feel so bad that I did this, but like I didn't know how to react. I just start fucking laughing at his face. I'm like, I think it's a joke. I'm like, am I getting pranked? Where the fuck's Ashton Kutcher? There's no way this high school kid is asking me out. And I'm like, I finally composed myself because I realized that was really rude for me to like literally laugh at his face when he's like, can I have your number?
Yeah.
I'm like, how old are you? Just ask. I want to know, like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 15.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, you're a baby. you're 15? He's like, I'm 15. I'm like, I'm 30. And his face goes like ghost white. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm 30. He's like, there's no way. And I'm like, I'm not trying to swerve you. Like, I'm engaged, but like, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to like be mean to you. I'm literally 30. He's like, let me see. I literally fumble for my little ID. Mickey's laughing behind me. She's like just laughing at this entire conversation. I like take out my ID and I give it to him. He like looks at it. He like inspects it. He's like looking at it. He's like, oh my God, you're 30. I'm like, I'm 30. And I guess his friend maybe dared him to like ask me out, or like he told his friend that he thought I was cute, and his friend was like probably motivating him to ask me out. Anyways, he screams in the middle of the mall inside of this chocolate store, she's 30! And the kid is like, what? Like his friend is like, no way. And then they leave. And like Mickey and I just are so stunned. We're like, did a 15-year-old literally think I was like 15?
Oh my God.
I was like mortified. I'm like, a fucking illegal child wanted to try to go on a date with me. I'm like, there's no way I look 15. I don't want to look 15. I want to look like 24. 24 is like...
24 is what you want to look like?
Yeah, I would love to look like I just graduated college, but before like I need Botox. Like, right? You're like 23, 24, 25 is like before like people think about Botox maybe. So yeah, I was like, fuck, I need to start looking a little bit older. And the thing is, I was like dressed pretty sophisticated. I was like going to a nice event. I was wearing like my like business I looked like a kind of like I was in business clothes. I was so confused. But
I mean, yeah. I'm not surprised.
Mister, you look 27/28. Well, a 15-year-old that I look 16.
27 is like a compliment. Like being younger than 25 doesn't feel like a compliment because you don't look fully...
It's okay. You think I look 27, 28. You don't have to change or tell me why you're thinking that. But I'm just saying, there are people out there who think I look like I'm in high school still.
That's crazy. I mean, this outfit's definitely giving like high school, like cheer.
Like preppy.
Yeah, preppy, like after school curricular activities. Like, hi, welcome, sign in here.
I think what doesn't help the situation is I'm pretty short. Although I was wearing like 4-inch boot heels. I mean, boots.
There's no way you look like you're in high school. Like, I don't know what that kid was thinking.
I don't know. He was a cute kid. I could totally see like a 16-year-old, 17-year-old girl being like, this is a cute kid, but like I was like, this is not attractive. You look like a child to me. Like, what is going on?
That's crazy.
I was like, he's gonna question every girl's age that he ever asked their number for from now on, because he legitimately, I wish I asked him like, how old do you think I am? Because he probably thought I was like maybe 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, which I could see.
Yeah,
I could see that. I mean, you get carded all the time.
Yeah,
people are like,
oh, we got carded at the wedding.
Yeah.
She was like, are you 21?
So yeah, I do think there's a lot of times you look like you're literally like barely 21.
Okay, well guys, if you guys want to know my like skincare secrets, let me know down below. But that was like insane to me.
So funny.
And Mickey was like roasting me all night about it. And
she doesn't look much older than you do.
She doesn't, but I think she looks younger than me.
I think so too.
Either way, I go horseback riding every single week, and there is like a 14-year-old who also goes horseback riding, and for the longest time we just like talk like normal people, and she's never asked me for my age. I know her age because like Kelly tells me. And then randomly the other day, she was like, by the way, like, what grade are you in? I'm like,
grade?
I'm 30. She's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I know how to talk. Like, I don't talk like I'm super old. Maybe that's what it is. But she was just like fucking frazzled. She was almost questioning like, why have I been talking to this adult the way I do? Because she'll talk about like, oh, I just went drinking last night. And I'm like, oh my God, you're like 14 going drinking? But I don't judge her for it. I'm just like, oh, like that sounds really fun.
Wait, she is telling you that she went drinking?
Yeah, like she, like not at a club, but like she like drinks with her friends and stuff.
I don't even think I was drinking at 14.
I think I had my first sip at like 8th grade. So that's 14.
Yeah, I tried drinking, like a beer, and I hated it. When I was in 8th grade.
She's grown up in the LA lifestyle. I feel like kids in Hollywood kind of grow up a little fast, and she's like the epitome of it. But yeah, she definitely was like, what the fuck?
But I think now also like with TikTok and internet culture, I'm sure people grow up a little bit quicker because they see so much more. So if you're seeing videos of people partying or other high school groups doing something, then it's going to almost like inspire and motivate you. Where when I was in 8th grade, there was no like way to really socially connect with people or see other things. So
that's true.
I'm sure kids are drinking and like experimenting more.
Younger.
Yeah. without a doubt.
Maybe. I mean, I definitely know that 16-year-olds look older than I did and my friends did when we were at 16, because the only way we knew how to do makeup, which makes girls look a lot older, was through a magazine. Like you had to read instructions and look at instructions. And nowadays it's like you have a full-on tutorial, step-by-step, brushes you use, everything. And
like if I was in maybe junior high today, I would search on TikTok like how to get away with drinking or how to like get someone to buy you booze.
Interesting.
And so you'd start maybe learning, but before there's no resources really for that. When I grew up, I'm like a dinosaur, it feels like.
We are both dinosaurs.
You do not look 30.
Baby, we got to have babies in the next 5 years or they're going to be considered a geriatric pregnancy.
I know, my sister's approaching that right now.
Oh, was she thinking about having babies?
Well, we were kind of talking about it. She's 30.
I don't remember us talking about it with her.
No, I know. I was talking about
you were
it
talking
with her.
about
I was
it.
like, so, because she's getting married in February, which we're very excited to go to her wedding. And I was asking her, like, do you guys have like more of a timeline? Are you thinking about kids? What are those conversations like? Are you planning on moving out of the city? And she's like, well, I'll be 34 in March. Yeah,
so are they thinking about it?
Not really.
Her friends don't have babies yet.
No, she does have friends with babies. And I was asking her, I was like, does that like make you more excited or less excited? And she's like, yeah, it makes me excited. But I think for her, it's like to have kids, she feels like she needs to move out of Chicago and go to the suburbs.
Okay.
And start that, which feels like a way bigger commitment because it almost feels like death to my youth when you have to like leave the city. But I was telling her, I'm like, I don't think you need to like leave the city just because you're pregnant or have a kid, at least for a few years. So you really have true. 5 more years. And by
but she has to start shopping for, I mean, I guess you guys live in Chicago where like all the schools are good.
Not downtown, but in the suburbs, yes. All of the, like majority of the, not like every suburb.
So she has to kind of shop for a suburb to like decide to live. You think she'll be in the same suburb you guys grew up in Northbrook? Or is she like over it? What's a good suburb to live in Chicago?
Northbrook, Glenview, Winnetka, if you can afford those places. Highland Park.
Yeah.
Deerfield, my mom grew up. This is just what I know, but these are all really good suburbs. And then, you know, like Wheeling is on the rise, which is like bordering Northbrook. It's more affordable. I mean, there's tons of suburbs everywhere that are pretty good with the public education.
I want to start looking at neighborhoods to move into. I heard some bad news today. I was parking into our neighborhood and there's been like a lot of construction happening in our neighborhood, which is great. It's getting, upgraded and people are moving in. But our street used to be like such a quiet street to park on. There'd be like 2-3 cars max on our street. And now every single day there are like 20-25 cars and they're all construction workers. And they're building a pretty massive building, like not even a whole block away from us, like down the street from us. And so I had been like telling Matt, I was like, I really, really, really hope it's not apartments because that would mean our street will be filled with people. And
turns out
I saw one of the construction workers. I had a full on conversation with him. I was like, so like, do you know what you guys are building? He's like, yeah, we're building apartments. I was like, oh, he's like, and they're going to be like affordable housing apartments, which I completely understand is necessary. But for someone who lives in a home in the same neighborhood,
it's not going to increase the value of the neighborhood. It's not
increasing the neighborhood value.
Would you say that it would decrease the value of the neighborhood?
A little bit, unfortunately. But I understand that LA needs more homes.
Right.
And I used to live in affordable housing. Like, I understand, like, there is a need for it. I grew up in Section 8 housing. But as a homeowner who spent like $1.3 million on a home, that's a huge investment and asset. Like, I want to make sure that my asset is building and not
there's no shame in being
decreasing.
Upset that there's...
I know, but I know people are going to be like, well, like, you guys need it. Like, and I understand it. But as someone that puts so much money into my home, like, I can't afford to lose value on my house,
right?
Especially when we have kids and we want to move our home into a better community school with better schooling. So I need my house to appraise at a higher value so that I can afford to move into a different community that's better for my kids. So I'm just like, I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that like it's going to finish in 2025, knowing permits and situations.
It'll probably take longer.
Okay, it'll probably be 2026. Yeah, or 2027. So we have like a year and a half to figure out what the fuck we want to do.
Well, more than that.
Well, we should probably move out before the apartments are finished.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So that I can either rent it out at a higher price or sell it before like the street becomes really busy.
You should rent it out.
I know.
Because renting, even if we were looking at another house, like for what you pay on your mortgage, we would probably have to pay like $8,000 at least to rent a similar house.
Yeah.
And so you could charge that, double up on your mortgage. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I think with like the new homes, there will be more retail businesses that open up, which I think overall it's going to be beneficial.
Yeah.
But I don't feel safe having like a lot of people parking on our neighborhood. We already have like neighborhood issues with people like parking on our street.
Well, yeah, it's like sort of
causing
like a
riffraff.
Yeah, it's like a big cut through stop sign that we live through. I mean, the neighborhood in the area is pretty slow, but during rush hour and stuff, there's definitely so many cars that come through our area because it is a really big cut through point. And so we do feel like it gets busy during those times. And if that's always the case, then it kind of like changes an aspect of the house and the neighborhood that we love, which is it is quiet. And peaceful.
Mm-hmm. And if we have kids, like I want to protect the kids, and I don't want like more people like lurking around because there's more cars. With more cars, there's more hiding spots, right? And with more cars, there's like more break-ins into cars where people are like looking for cars to break into.
I mean, yeah, just more people is more probability for something bad to happen.
So I was really annoyed with that because really our neighborhood needs more retail businesses to bring like more life into the community. And instead of doing that, they're putting 120 apartment units into the house, into like this small area without parking. They're only building a 15-car garage for 120 units. So because we only live like a block away, they're going to be on up and down our block because no one parked on our block. So it's just like kind of sad because I love the fact that like I live on a corner lot that was pretty quiet and had a lot of parking. And like when we had our engagement party and had like 60 people here, everyone found a parking spot.
Right.
And that was not an issue. And now it's going to be like a huge issue.
Jeez. That's terrible.
I know.
Well, at least we have some time to figure it out. Mm-hmm. In the worst case scenario, we get a different house, and then we see kind of what happens with this neighborhood in the area.
What neighborhood do you want to live in?
I mean, I love the Valley.
Yeah,
I really want to live, go back and move to
I
the
don't
Valley.
think the Valley school systems are as good though.
Yeah.
As they could be. I was actually talking to my one friend in LA that has, I have two friends in LA that have kids, but my friend Jen lives in a neighborhood. I don't want to say because I don't know if it's public or she talks about it, but she lives in a neighborhood where like the school systems are like 9 out of 10s. The neighboring school system's 10 out of 10. And she feels all this pressure to like put her kids in like after school programs like Kumon and like tutoring because like her friends are doing it and like her kids' friends are doing it. But either way, her school system has a really cool system where it's, by the way, this is all public school, that it's an immersive language school. So they learn it's a dual language school. So they're also simultaneously learning Korean and English at the same time. And they're like 4, 5, 6.
I wish that I went through that when I was a kid. I feel like
what language
so
would you choose?
Uncultured.
Italian? Because you're Italian or no?
Yes, but I would in theory, but I've always loved French. I feel like it's such a sexy language.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way that the words sound and kind of roll off the tongue. But I really think like Spanish is probably the most applicable.
Yeah.
So I would probably want to learn Spanish because that's something that you can actually use. And that's actually something that comes into a benefit when you're communicating with people, right? Because like, it's not like you're really encountering so many, French people where you're like need to like speak the language unless you go there. But like I run into a lot of Mexican people or people that speak Spanish, and even my friends, like I'm always asking like Gara, I'm like,
how do you say this?
I wish that I could speak because,
yeah,
I just agree. Feel like when I'm sitting there and he's speaking Spanish to someone on the phone or showing me something in Spanish. And even he has like a channel on Instagram and everything is in Spanish. And I'm always like texting him like, I wish that I just knew what you were saying. But I just feel like not a full human. I don't know how to explain it. Like I sit there and I feel like dumb.
Like uncultured.
Like uncultured and just like...
I feel like an uncultured Asian person all the time. Mickey makes me feel like an uncultured Asian person. But she's slowly seasoning me up. She's slowly giving me...
How and Tree are definitely... Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think if I had to choose, I would learn Spanish as well, just because now that I'm like flipping homes, all of the contract workers and workers are Spanish and they always speak in Spanish to one another. And then there's kind of a somewhat language barrier when I talk to them about stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, I think my second would be definitely Mandarin, just because I feel like China in general is becoming a first world country. And not only is it a first world country, it's like my culture and identity as well. And then I'm really...
You're 75%, right?
Yeah. I'm pissed at my dad for not teaching us Cantonese or Mandarin. He's fluent in both, and Vietnamese. Never taught us. We just went to Chinese school on Saturdays and learned Mandarin there, but we all hated it.
Pretty much everything.
I still know how to, I know how to count.
The song too.
It's a song. That's the only reason I know it. It's like singing your ABCs. Like, I don't know my ABCs. I just know how to sing it.
Well, you taught me 1 through 10 in Vietnamese.
Want to say
when
it?
we first started dating.
Mop.
No. Mop. Hai. Ba. Nam. Sao.
Bai.
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 Dam.
Dam.
Jin.
Jin.
Moi.
Moi.
Okay, now say it all. Mop.
Mop. Ha.
You're so good at this normally.
No, but you're putting me on the spot.
I'm sorry. Okay, it's
Mop.
Mop Hai Ba Boon. Mop Hai Ba Boon Nam Sao Bai Dam Jin Moi.
Yeah, I used to know it pretty well.
You would like. My mom was so proud of you.
Anum.
I was like, I even forgot it because I was like, I know that's not right.
We were talking about Spanish, so my like brain started getting into like Espanol, which they use too. But yeah, anum.
M-U-N. It's like M-I-U-N.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we going to teach our kids? Are we teaching them Viet, Chinese, Italian,
Spanish?
We should get a Spanish nanny if we can afford it.
Yes.
That only speaks to them in Spanish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine that
they're gonna
nanny
cuss us out in Spanish.
Yeah. Just hearing the nanny cussing the kids out.
Cállate la boca.
Yeah. Oh,
we're like, what are you saying to us?
So funny.
I don't know. I love when we talk about babies because it makes me so excited. And I'm excited to see how my body changes. My friend Jen said that she loved the way her body changed after babies. She said it made her hips bigger. And I was like, my hips are already getting bigger. Imagine if they're bigger.
Yeah. Well, I was looking into like just randomly reading and doing research, and I was looking into like effects from getting off of birth control.
Okay.
And a lot of people like really positively loved. I said that in such a weird way. A lot of people had positive experiences with the body changes after getting off of birth control.
Oh, really?
Because you get like bigger boobs. And other
that's
stuff.
true. Whenever my next one on was expiring, remember, I was like, I know it's expiring because my boobs are getting fatter. Wait, I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So maybe you don't need to get.
Maybe I don't need a boob job.
You're definitely not needing one either way.
Yeah, I guess I might lose weight because I definitely gained weight going on birth control.
Yeah, I feel like that. I used to hear that as a kid.
Yeah, it's pretty common to gain weight on birth control.
Is it like you stay gaining weight, or is it more of like your body's response to this new hormone?
Yeah.
You have this response, but then you kind of level set? Or so then you're technically like at baseline now? Or would you say that your body's still affected?
Well, I don't know. But if you're taking pills, because, it cleans out of your system every 24 hours, you gain weight because your body's like fluctuating every 24 hours. So I gained 8 pounds on birth control pills, but I never fully lost it going on Nexplanon. So either I'll stay the same or maybe lose a few pounds, but I'm really happy with where I'm at, that I don't want, like, that doesn't bother. Like, that's not the reason I'm doing it. The only thing that makes me a little bit nervous is that birth control did help my acne, and I had very bad acne as a kid, that I'm really scared I might get worse. Like, I have such great skin now. I look like I'm 15. Just kidding. Like 24.
That was something that I read was like a side effect, acne. But the positive from what I saw was that it's just kind of like a temporary hormonal change, which, it's crazy.
I love that you looked into this. Is there a reason why you looked into this?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out like what to expect. Like, what's your mood going to be like?
Okay.
Like, will you change? Will your personality? Because like,
I heard my brain fog will clear, because I realize I do struggle with brain fog. I can't remember things, like people's names, to save my life.
Your libido will increase.
You excited for that?
Yeah, you need a little uptick in libido.
Jesus Christ. You need a downtake.
Don't complain
Just kidding.
about that.
You need an uptick as well.
Do I?
Just kidding. No.
Okay, I'll remember you said that.
No. I was just kidding.
No, but I feel like it's not really that talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it shouldn't just be on the women to do the research and learn about it, because like you're my partner, and if you're going through these big hormonal changes, like that's stuff that I should know and be equipped for, be ready for, or know how to deal with and handle. But I do think it's like a huge deal to be like messing with your hormones like that. So I'm just really excited and happy for you, outside of like trying to have babies, just to stop taking something that's like affecting your hormones.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you'll be more like emotionally stable. Not that you're not emotionally stable.
Jesus Christ.
No. I mean, like, I think it'll help with your like emotions. Not that you need it, but I know from reading it, like there's a lot of like mood swings, like being on birth control.
A lot of those are talking about hormones that have a 24-hour cycle, because I'm always getting a consistent amount of hormones pushed into my body, because it's always
just
inside
like
of me.
Releasing always.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
Yeah. Guys are so... Did you know they actually came up and invented a male birth control?
Yeah, it's not new.
But they never released it because the side effects were too much for men. Like, we have side effects too.
Well, were the side effects like... And maybe it's the same for women, but were they...
They just don't care about women's side effects as much as men.
I don't know. That's such a blanket, like, overall statement. I don't know who, and I don't know how to really gauge that. It's kind of like saying, like, would women care more about men's side effects if they were the ones making and releasing the drugs? Like, who knows? But I'm just saying, I wonder if the side effects were, like, could affect, like, fertility for men, which would make sense.
What do you think birth control is? It affects fertility.
No, it affects it temporarily, but like, does it?
We don't know the full effects of birth control.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I started by saying, and I'm sure it also affects women's fertility as well.
I mean, but if you're reading, we get brain fog, moody, gain weight, no fertility, no periods. I can't imagine male birth control is like you want to kill someone, like, right? Like maybe that would be
have more testosterone, maybe and aggression and anger and depression. I feel like is more common among men.
Then maybe I'll be very happy that men are not on birth control. That was a side effect.
But like men angry, driving around, like interacting, confronting each other, like head on.
Maybe it's a good idea we don't have male birth control. I'm gonna think that was the reasoning.
Well, I actually saw something, and it's so interesting because we're talking about this.
Okay.
I saw just like a tweet meme where it was just talking about some of the really negative side effects about women taking birth control. Okay. And then it was saying like men.
Can I just shout you out for a second? I love the fact that you want to do this research and you do research. Yeah. Like when I had a UTI, Matt did so much research about like how to prevent it. And then I appreciate the effort, and it really shows your love language is like, I don't know what love language this would be considered. Research? I don't know. But I really appreciate it is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Well, thank you. Yeah. There's a couple reasons why. Number one, you're my partner. I care about you. Mm-hmm. I love you. And then number two, you also have made me more aware, and society, I think, has brought a lot of light to some of these things. Like, for example, like a woman, right? Like you get engaged, you wear the ring.
Okay. Yeah. True.
You are on birth control. Your body's taking a sacrifice. You carry the baby. You have to carry that baby for 9 months and feed it and not drink and do these things. And you have to change your name. You have to make so many sacrifices as a woman. And I feel like men make sacrifices in different ways. But in our society, those sacrifices are sort of like level setting where the traditions of a man and a woman aren't what they used to be. Mm-hmm. So now that women are more equal in the sense of like career, independence, what they provide, what they bring to the table, it doesn't seem as fair that a woman has to sacrifice as much as well as do the same things as a man. Mm-hmm. So I think that, you're like, because you're talking about taking your birth control out.
Yeah.
And you kind of were joking. You're like, well, make the appointment for me. That's the least you can do, right? Like, I'm doing all this, da-da-da. And, like, that got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, like, I take no like, there's no ego or pride in being the one to have to call or do these things because you're my partner and I love you and we're a team and you shouldn't have to make all the sacrifices. And however I can step up and help out in those ways, especially when it comes to your body and, you know, our future and our kids and stuff. Like, I definitely want to be proactive in that. But back to what I was saying, this tweet post was like talking about the negative side effects of that women go through with birth control. And then it was like vasectomies are reversible. All men should, like, when they're born, should like have a vasectomy, and you should be able to like, you should have to like pass some form of like screening and testing in order to like get your vasectomy.
Oh, interesting.
Reversed.
Like
so
like a mental health check.
I mean, that's like some
never will happen.
Really insane control on society.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like that.
There's
to
a
me
term
is not.
for euphemism. There's a term where selective breeding in humans. It's called, it starts with an E. I can't remember. Brain fog.
I mean, this is America. You should be able to do what you want, right? But like, it was just an interesting theory, and I don't think that that should be the case. But it just brings up the fact of like, okay, men do need to take some responsibility in this part of life as well, and it shouldn't just be on the woman, because not only are all those things that we talked about, like abortions, all these other risks that you guys have to go through that don't affect men at all. You know, like there's so much. I mean, having a baby was like one of the biggest ways people died.
Girls die, yeah.
Women died back in the day before they had modern medicine. So it's always been a very risky sacrifice for a woman to bring another life into this world. So
did I tell you my sister had like a 4th degree tear? Do you know what that is?
You told me what happened. So now I'm piecing together what a 4th degree tear means.
The skin between her butthole and her, whatever you want to call it, vagina, split wide open. Just one giant gaping hole down there. No 2 holes, no 3 holes, just one hole. One beautiful hole that took out a baby. And do you know that so many people poop when they give birth?
I think I knew that. Yeah.
I don't know if I want you to watch.
I'm 100%ing watching.
I want your face next to my face and your hands next to my hands.
You're crazy if you think that I'm not going to watch my child come out and breathe its first breath.
Isn't it my decision who I let see my vajayjay?
Yeah, but
P.S. We're not having like our parents in there.
Okay, yeah, whatever. But
well, okay, I'm only saying that because I saw on TikTok there's been like issues where the mom, like the girl wants no one except her husband in there or boyfriend, but the husband invites their mom. So it's like, I don't want Donna in there watching my vagina.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay, cool. Like, I'm glad we're on the same page with that. It's only you and I watching the baby come out, no one else.
Yeah.
Cool, perfect. Got it. That's all I wanted to get figured out.
Yes. But I'm still going to watch my baby take its first breath. Wah!
Can't you just watch my face and hold my hands?
Yeah, but then I'll just be like, psych, and I'll just run around. You'll be like, you'll have nothing.
Rude.
Anyways.
You know what? Okay, that's fine, but one day you're going to have to let me take, I don't want to see you take a shit, but like, I'm going to have to watch you take a shit.
It's the most Tiffany thing ever. It's got to be even.
Everything's got to be even.
Everything's got to be even.
Okay, well, that was a great episode. Well, if you guys have not yet, give us a comment down below and let us know if you have any babies or how many babies you want to have, out of curiosity. If our viewers have started having babies yet, or they're not interested, I'm like, shut the fuck up about babies, because it ain't happening for us anytime soon.
Yes. And also, don't forget to submit your rotten submissions.
Yes.
Am I rotten or not? We need to bring that more and more back.
Yes.
Love doing those. So please drop a submission below if you got a juicy story to tell or need an opinion on something. And yeah.
And if you guys haven't already, give us those 5 stars, baby. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.